And welcome back folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I'm Vern, and first of all I have a slightly higher soul count than last time. The reason being is that I went back to the Forest of Giants just to start to clear it out. I haven't actually cleared any enemies there out completely, but I have taken a few hits at a few of them whilst I had a drink. You may notice we're back in this region. I said we had something to do here. We found the Forest Lockstone last episode, so we might as well use it now. We killed the pursuer down here earlier, so there's nothing to worry about. Smash your way through here and get moving. Now, there's a fella to talk to here, but before we do, we're going to go and explore this place fully. A pretty cool area. It's the Belfry, where as you can see we have various what look to be phantoms. And we've been invaded by a bellkeeper. I think he comes from upstairs. I could be wrong though. I don't really know a whole lot of how to commentate this area. It's not a favourite of mine for the reason that through that gate there. It's home to a very nasty optional boss who's a bit of a throwback to the first game. And indeed to Demon Souls, for anybody who played that as well. We're going to go up here first. We could go down through those holes down there, but we want to just... Oh, that's where the invader is. Okay. So, you may notice a lever there. That's what we're aiming for. But there's quite a few of these fuckers to deal with. So let's pick them off one at a time. Oh dear. This area can get a bit overwhelming just because there are quite a few of these. And that invader's gonna hunt us down to the bitter end. There's an item here to pick up. We won't be picking it up just yet because that guy wanted to be a bit cheeky. We'll grab it now. I thought we were risking taking a hit there, but we got away with it alright. That's the invader down. There is something later on to do with invasions in this game that we're going to have to, fortunately, grind. The fellow we saw downstairs is, I think, the start of a covenant. So, later on in the game there's another belfry area like this. A bit bigger though, where you have to farm this NPC invader a fair few times to get a drop, I think. Otherwise you have to do the Covenant online and kill real players, but I don't feel like doing that. I'll explain more about that when we reach the area though. It's not for a while yet, but it is necessary for 100% in this game, so... Ringing the bell, I thought opened this. Yes it does. But yeah, I'll explain about the Invasion Covenant later on. No reason to do so now. What there is reason to do is heal up. Just in case we take fall damage from going through one of the holes in the floor, which I think is this one. Yes. Brings us out here. Just a couple of items we want to grab that we couldn't get at from in there. We'll try using the X button on all the walls just to see if there's any illusory walls there. There's not. We're going to open this and then we're going to go and see the NPC quickly. Blue tear stone ring now. I think that was in why have I just unequipped that? I think the blue tear stone ring's actually in DS1 really early on. No, it's the red ring I'm thinking of. There's a ring early in DS1 that's pretty useful, and I thought that was it, but it's not. So I'm going to shut up while we talk to this guy.
Just like so. To guard this bell for the prince's honour. Stay away, foul undead, or you'll be a goner.
So we're going to say no to that, but as you can see we're getting an achievement for it, so we needed to do it. This guy's a bit nuts, he just talks in rhyme all the time.
Useless fool. Filthy undead! Be gone right now and stop with your head!
I don't actually know the lore behind this place, like I don't know a lot of the DS2 lore, but this place really is like, what's the point in it? Oh, this guy just repeats what he's saying now, until you join the Covenant, which we'll do later on for that one thing I mentioned that we've got to do now. I really want to go and just make sure we've got full Estus, because the boss coming up could be a bit of a roadblock. It's one I've historically summoned for pretty much every time, and if it looks like it's going to go rough the first couple of tries, I may do this time as well. Anyone who's played the original Dark Souls will recognise instantly the boss that we're going into, but it's got a bit of a twist to it, which is just a typical DS2 twist. It's not nice, it's not fun. I remember seeing Grolvana get absolutely walled by this in one of his playthroughs. I think it was an all bosses playthrough he did. So, oh dear. Well, there goes the idea of being at full health. So you may have noticed there was a summon sign. We'll go and see who it is quickly, but I don't think it's one we need to use. Oh yeah, these guys are back alive as well now. Oh god. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I hate when you just get clipped by something like that, because the wind down after animations in this game is so unsmooth. Like, in DS3 for instance, you snap out of an animation straight away. That's masterless Glencore. But in this, no, the animations have to last 10 million years, but it's alright. I'm slowly starting to realise I don't actually like this game very much. Like, it's still fun because it's still a Souls game, but it's not one I choose. So here we go. The bell gargoyles. Now you want to immediately rush and hit this guy. Or maybe not. They all have individual health, but as you can see there's a couple of them. I think they spawn more as well whenever one reaches half health. There's a good few of them, as you can see, on the various plinths. And it's annoying because they don't give you any downtime between attacks, so... And yes, it is half health that another one spawns at. The music's really cool, but the fight itself, not so much. We want to take this guy out, but you need to be careful about managing health as well. Not like that. So I'm going to try and go and deal with this guy, like, immediately, because, yeah, it's best to just pick them off one at a time. I think there's 5 that spawn in Taser, there might be 6 though. This guy's pretty low on health, well, I say pretty low on health, he's down to like 2/3, so we'll focus on him. They're not actually doing as much damage as I thought they did. Another one should be spawning now, which they are, because I just heard the roar. We want to try and deal with this guy as he comes down. Oh god, this is what I was worried about, getting cornered by more than one of them. Because they are just relentless. We're going to try and rush this guy. But of course not, we're going to get absolutely destroyed, and he's got a magic attack to roll it. If we hadn't rolled then, would have killed us. I want to try and take that guy out like now. But I can't because he's doing his magic bullshit. So let's try and weaken one of the others instead. How are you still alive, bro? I want to get a heal off, but I don't want to risk it yet. Okay, so he's now at the lowest health threshold, I think, for another one spawning. Yeah, these guys with their jump attacks can be absolutely vicious as well. As you can see, they're pretty non-stop with them. I don't know how I dodged that. It's about waiting for an opening though on the one that's down on health now. Which we thankfully have there, but unfortunately not one will now spawn. We need to get rid of this guy. Get it rolling, because I could see there was a guy behind me. Okay, that's another one down. It might just be these two left, but I think there might be one more. Get out of that corner. Heal. I should have slotted some life gems as well. I was going to say double hit that guy, but I think he's rushing. He is. Let's slot some life gems. And we're going to use one immediately because otherwise we're going to die. Oh, I tried to do an R2 attack there, but it failed. Trying also not to get cornered too much. Fucking hell. Do you want to just die, please, sir? Okay, one hit and he should go. I don't know if this guy's the last one, actually. I don't really want to risk it, though. So we're going to heal using the life gem instead of our Estus. Just because we like to keep one of them for emergencies. Yeah, this is the last guy. I'm actually surprised I've done this first time, because that fight can be a pain, but that was one of the things we had to do anyway. There are a couple more things we need to get done this episode before we can proceed to the next area in the game. There's an item there, make sure you pick it up. That fight was a lot easier than I remembered. Although it might not have been easy, it might just be that I'm pretty over leveled for it. The chest here. Open it. There's also a bonfire ahead, as you can see. We're going to need that because the area below down there isn't very nice. I think there's a NPC invader down there. I know there's quite a few dogs. I would usually try luring them with like a bow or throwables, but we're not going to do that this time. We're just going to go in and fight. I thought there was an NPC invader here. As you can see, there's a lot of dogs. Thankfully our weapon's pretty strong. But yes, there is actually an NPC invader here. It's Vorgel the Sinner. I don't recall what he does, apart from hit through iframes, which is difficult for this game. So we're going to try and get a backstabbing on him. And of course he gets iframes when he's down because, well, this is Dark Souls 2 after all. I want to try and get away from him so I can... Oh, fuck, there's still a couple of dogs. Get that heal off that I was about to try and do. And let's move because he just dropped down behind us. Right. I'm surprised he didn't hit me through the iframe again there. One more hit, and he's down. This was another area that's given me a bit of bother in the past, but no such problem this time. And we get a human effigy for that. We get the Dragon Tooth, which is like one of the more iconic Souls weapons. It's basically just a big massive club. There's a guy in Havel's armour in the first game that uses it pretty early on, who can be a bit of a troll. And we'll get an enchanted falchion, which is a magic weapon, or a weapon with magic imbue on it. There's one last thing we're going to do this episode before we call it. It's not been too long an episode, but we might as well wrap it up when we've done everything we can do in this area. I think the area coming up after this though is rather long, so this is a good place to call it after finishing off the Lost Bastille. I might save the whole area for another recording session. Might leave it for tonight. Kind of thinking of doing some Red Dead or Valhalla after this. Red Dead 2 I never got massively into. I did put a lot of hours in, but I thought it was a little overrated, but I'm sure it'll be better this time. And then Valhalla, well, it's one of those games, isn't it? It's a typical Ubisoft open world game. Full of dumb side content that nobody's ever going to finish, but it's still fun for its own reasons. Now, we're probably going to get hit here. I'd be very surprised if we're not. Oh, we managed to iframes through it that time, and get her back to me. This area is just full of those annoying fuckers. I don't know why that barrel takes 2 hits from a bastard sword, but fuck it. It's Dark Souls 2, man. It's Dark Souls 2. I feel like we've done this area a few times now, so I shouldn't have to warn about staying away from those things. Anyone with a keen eye will know what we're back up here for. We did get a branch of petrified yore, I believe, or whatever it's called, branch of fragrant yore. So there's this guy. I'm going to shut up while we talk to him.
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid.
That's what she said.
I must thank you, young traveler. I am Strayed, a wandering sorcerer of sorts. I've been a guest for a very long time, but I don't think that anybody will miss me. Very good indeed. Cursed one, weak you may be, but I, Strayed, will teach you my spells. Oh, how long was I sat petrified? Long enough for the old kingdom to have crumbled, I see. Why didn't anyone wake me sooner? I've never heard the name. Is that what they call this place now? Very good. Very good indeed. The cursed ones were imprisoned within this land. Of course, you came of your own free will. The people fear the cursed ones like a plague. Some people would rather keep dreadful things out of sight, out of mind. In the end, they swept them up and corralled them here. So very typical of meek minds, don't you think? Once people became aware of their own frailty, they seized anybody they found undesirable, cursed or no, and impounded them here. Whoever posed even the slightest threat was removed, all so that they could sleep better at night. They even turned the great Strayed into a stone. Many kingdoms rose and fell on this tract of earth. Mine was by no means the first. Anything that has a beginning also has an end. No flame, however brilliant, does not one day splutter and fade. But then, from the ashes, the flame reignites, and a new kingdom is born, sporting a new face. It is all a curse. And it is your cursed flesh that will inherit the flame. Pyromancy was created by the ancient witch of fire. She harnessed the power of flame and melded it into pyromancy. The witch led her daughters into war against the old ones. But legends are legends. What are you prepared to believe? Long enough for the white.
Okay, so as I said, I don't really know the lore of this game, but I know that I've read a theory somewhere that this game is basically the first game, but in a totally different timeline, like completely rejigged. It feels very much from what they were saying, like the flame from the first game died out, and this kingdom was born. And this feels very much like a reimagined Undead Asylum from the first game, where the undead are corralled, as they say in that, and led here. Like, obviously the environments aren't the same, but just the essence of the world is supposed to be the same from what I understand. Which is quite interesting. Anyway, Stride of Olafis is a where you can trade boss souls in. We can get all these lovely weapons from him, and more I believe, after we what am I going to say? After we kill more bosses, and there's also items we need to buy from him, including one that's 28,000. Lots of spells. We need all these for the 100%. But the ones we're going to go for first are the boss soul ones. We need to focus on spells where possible. Shall we go Dragon Rider's Twin Blade actually? Or shall we go Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword? We could work towards after we've started using the Twin Blade. We'll go with that. I like the idea of using a Great Shield and an Ultra Great Sword actually. We'll go for both of those. We're going to leave these for now. No, we'll buy them now. Buy the Warp Sword, which is the Curb Sword, and we'll buy the Stone Axe. By the way, you can read these to learn little bits of lore. We're not going to on this occasion. We're just going to buy the items. See if he's got anything to say. Oh yes, he gives us something for spending a certain amount. Gives us his robes. You say anything else? No. So, we're going to go now back to Majula. Oh god. Yes. Hurry up please, straight. We're going to use this bonfire, and we're going to go straight back to Majula. Now that we have everything we need from this area. As I said, we are going to be using the Twin Blade until we have enough strength to wield the Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword and the Dragon Rider Great Shield, which will probably be our endgame setup. Actually, I just want to double check what the requirements for the items are. You can see the Dragon Tooth we picked up needs 50 strength. We'll not be using that. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword requires 30 strength. And the Great Shield we got requires 35, so we're some way off there, yep. I think we need 26 decks for the Twin Blade we've got. So we're gonna put 3 more points into that. How many souls is it per level up? 12,000. And we have a couple of these to use up. Now, I don't know what we can trade those in for, and I don't know if they're for boss weapons or not. I did say I wanted to make sure that we had all boss weapons and stuff by the end of the playthrough. It is all Steam achievements though, this playthrough. in which case we might be able to get away with using those souls. Anyway, before we continue, I want to go over here. I'm fairly sure we need 2,000 souls for this, which is why I'm extending the video a little bit longer just to show this, so we can get the 2,000 souls and eventually do the thing in here, which we'll be doing next episode. We have a lady to talk to here. I think you need 2,000 souls to solve this room. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go and farm up 2,000 souls and come back here between episodes. I'll probably clear a couple of areas out, but I don't know yet. And then in next episode, we'll be going through this room. Till then folks, until then.